Okay, and we are up to lesson 86. So this is about modality in Russian. Actually, just to give you a little bit of a preview of what's to come. So the next four lessons are all about modality in Russian, which is basically just different ways of saying things. So modality is essentially it's not so much about what you say, but how you say it. If you say something a certain way, it implies a certain sort of mood or something which is not necessarily explicitly stated, but kind of implies something. I think that's. I hope that's kind of the best way to define modality. Actually, you know what? Let's since I go to Wiktionary a lot anyway, let's use Wiktionary for an English word for once, and let's see what does Wiktionary have to say about modality. Linguistics, the inflection of a verb that shows how its action is conceived by the speaker or mood. Yeah, so what we call, basically, sort of the spirit behind what you say. It's not, again, not literally what you say or denotatively what you say, but connotatively what you say, what you mean to, what sort of feeling or spirit you mean to convey with the words. So this is the last. Sort of language subject, so to say, or so to speak, in this lesson, or in this complete set of lessons in the entire Learn Russian catalog. So we have four lessons about modality in Russian, and then that's it. After that, we just have topics, and this is just kind of building vocabulary with regard to specific topics. You can see there's one here about transport, and then the remaining 10 lessons after that are all just these so-called topics, just vocabulary for specific situations, and that's it. So let's go ahead and get started. We are on lesson 86. This is about constructions of permission, prohibition, recommendation, obligation, and ability. Let's see. So let's go ahead and get started with the first dialogue here. As usual, I'm not going to read all of the introductory text. You can read it if you'd like. But let's go ahead and just get right to the dialogue. So we have a dialogue here between podчиненный, which is that again subordinate? I believe that is, once again subordinate. And then начальник, which is the boss. So you have the subordinate and the boss. So let's see what they have to say to each other.
Извините, можно войти?
Да, Попов, входи.
Илья Семенович, мне надо с вами поговорить.
Ты уже со мной говоришь.
Я вчера в налоговую полицию сдал наш квартальный отчет.
Это я знаю.
Ну, там, в общем, там ошибка.
Как? Ты сказал мне, что проверял отчет несколько раз.
Да, это правда. Утром я еще раз посмотрел его и нашел ошибку.
Надо было это сделать вчера, а не сегодня.
Да, я понимаю, нужно было внимательно смотреть. Да, но...
Попов, я не знаю, как ты это сделаешь, но по возможности сегодня вечером в налоговой должен быть правильный отчет.
Но это невозможно. Уже 6 вечера, а они закрылись еще в 5.
Попов, если тебе нужна твоя работа, то слова «нельзя» ты не знаешь, понял?
Да, уже бегу. Спасибо, что выслушали.
Ага, а надо было сразу уволить. Иди.
Oh, I've been in these situations at work. I guess, well, who hasn't? I guess it happens to all of us sometimes. So, the subordinate says,
Извините, можно войти?
so, right away getting started with stuff to fill in. So he says, можно выйти, because this is about constructions of permission and prohibition, as well as other things. So he says, excuse me, may I come in? So можно is may I?
Да, Попов, входи.
Yes, Popov, come in.
Илья Семенович, мне надо с вами поговорить.
So now he says, мне надо, Ilya Semyonovich, I need to speak with, I need to talk to you. Notice how he's using вы with the boss, but the boss uses ты with the subordinate.
Ты уже со мной говоришь.
I think it's a bit of a joke there. You already are speaking with me.
Я вчера в налоговую полицию сдал наш квартальный отчет.
Yesterday to the tax police, I guess in Russia they call it like the tax board or the tax government bureau, the tax police. I sent them our quarterly report.
Это я знаю.
I know that, or that I know.
Ну, там, в общем, там ошибка.
So it looks like there's a mistake.
Как? Ты сказал мне, что проверял отчет несколько раз.
What? You told me that you checked the report several times.
Да, это правда. Утром я еще раз посмотрел его и нашел ошибку.
Yes, that's true. In the morning, I once again looked at the report or looked at him, because отчет is masculine, and found mistake.
Надо было это сделать вчера, а не сегодня.
That needed to happen yesterday and not today.
Да, я понимаю, нужно было внимательно смотреть. Да, но...
Да, я понимаю, нужно было. So, yes, I understand. I needed to be attentive. I needed to look attentively. Yes, but...
Попов, я не знаю, как ты это сделаешь, но по возможности сегодня вечером в налоговой должен быть правильный отчет.
Popov, I don't know how you're going to do it. No. По возможности, within possibility, or as much as possible, today evening, so this evening, in the tax in the tax office, they need to have a correct report.
Но это невозможно. Уже 6 вечера, а они закрылись еще в 5.
Но это невозможно, but that is not possible. It's already 6 in the evening, and they close already at 5. Or they close still at 5.
Попов, если тебе нужна твоя работа, то слово «нельзя» ты не знаешь. Понял?
Если тебе нужна твоя работа, if you need your work or if you need your job, then the word нельзя basically... I mean, I guess here he's meaning impossible, because the guy here said impossible. Невозможно means impossible. Нельзя usually means forbidden. Нельзя usually means you can't do it. So I guess what he's saying is if you value your job, you don't know the word can't be done. Понял? Do you understand?
Да, уже бегу. Спасибо, что выслушали.
Yes, I'm already running. Thank you that you listened to me.
Ага, а надо было сразу уволить. Иди.
Uh-huh. This is such a quintessentially Russian word. Aga. Actually, he said aha. It's kind of interesting. Usually Russians say aga, but in this case he said aha. Which just means like the same in English. It's like uh-huh. And I needed to fire you immediately. Go. All right, so constructions of permission, prohibition, and so forth. Let's see what we have here. So, permission, prohibition can be expressed with the words можно and нельзя. So, здесь можно гулять с собакой. Here you may walk with a dog, or here it's possible to walk with a dog. Здесь нельзя курить. Here it is forbidden to smoke. The words надо and не надо are used to express recommendation and obligation. The words нужно and не нужно can also be used to indicate recommendation and obligation. So basically, надо and нужно are, I guess they're different but similar. To express ability, we can use по возможности and невозможно. So по возможности, as much as possible or within possibility, and невозможно is very simply impossible. Okay, so here we go. Можно, нельзя, не надо, надо, нужно, не нужно, по возможности, есть возможность, or не нужно. Actually, this is невозможно. The heading here is wrong. This is already не нужно. This here is невозможно, but okay. All right, pretty straightforward, right? So, wow, that's a big that's a big introductory or explanatory paragraph there. But the point here is very straightforward. You fill in the blanks. That's it. So, not вчера, всегда. Всегда сначала something думать, а потом говорить. So, always beginning something think and then speak. So basically, you should always think first and then speak, which is actually good advice. Good life advice. I wish that more people would take this life advice, to be honest. So the word here is надо. Всегда сначала надо думать, а потом говорить. Always at the beginning need to think and then speak. Мне ничего something от тебя. I guess again, не надо. So, мне ничего не надо от тебя. I don't need anything from you. Тебе something подписывать этот документ. So, только директор может это сделать. So, okay, so you can't sign this document. Only the director may do that. So you cannot sign this document. That would be then нельзя. Нельзя. You are not allowed to sign this document. Okay, something, конечно, сделать так, как ты хочешь, но я не уверен, что это правильное решение. So, okay, so it's можно, right? You can. It's possible, right? Okay, so можно, конечно. So it's possible, of course, to do that what you want, but I am not certain that, or I'm not sure that this is the right decision. Number 5. Something раньше думать, теперь уже поздно что-то менять. Раньше думать, so previously think. Теперь уже поздно. So after that, it's already too late to change something. So, okay, so надо было. Было is, yeah, here it's past tense. So, надо было раньше думать. It was necessary to think previously. Now it's already too late to change anything. Okay, something говорит тебе об этом вчера. Я вижу, что ты сильно расстроился. So, speak to you about it yesterday. Я вижу, что ты сильно расстроился. So I see that you are strongly disturbed or upset. Okay, so okay, it's не надо было. Okay. Literally, не надо было, it says something more like, I didn't have to tell you. I think here, though, it means something more like, I shouldn't have told you. Не надо было говорить тебе об этом вчера. Literally, I didn't need to tell you about it yesterday, but I think here it means more like, I shouldn't have told you about it yesterday because I see that you are now strongly disturbed about it. Okay, возможно, something сразу сказать о проблеме нашему администратору. So, possibly immediately tell about the problem to our administration. I guess надо было. Perhaps it was necessary to immediately tell the administration about the problem. I think that's what they're angling for here. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because really, I'm of the opinion that many of these answers could fit here. I think that many of these could be correct. So it's a little bit, I mean, here it says it was necessary, but it could just as well be it is necessary, right? I think that, without context, either of those sentences could be correct or should be considered correct, but what do I know? Никогда something думать о человеке плохо, не зная его. Never think about a human being badly if you don't know him or her, but человек is masculine, so here they say не знаю его. Okay, so what do they have? Oh, it's a double negative. Okay, got it. It's a double negative here. So никогда нельзя. Literally, you can't never think badly about someone. I mean, it's kind of like how you'd render it in, I guess, like if you think about like American English from the South, you can't never do that. You can't never think badly about someone unless you know them personal. Yeah, that's what this means. It's just in Russian, sometimes a double negative like that is correct. So yeah, so never think badly about someone if you don't know them. Okay. Нам something покупать билет на другой рейс. Этот задерживается на несколько часов. So, race here is not race, but a flight of an aircraft, for example. We buy ticket for another flight. This one задерживается на несколько. This one is delayed several hours or a few hours. So, okay, so we need to buy a ticket for another flight, or надо было. Sorry, it's надо было. So we should have, not we should buy, but we should have bought a ticket for another flight because this one is delayed by some hours. Okay. And сейчас говорить ему об этом. So now talk to him about it. Он в плохом настроении. He is in a bad mood. So, okay, I think they're looking here for не нужно. It's not necessary. Yeah, there we go. Не нужно сейчас говорить ему об этом. It's not needed to talk to him about it now because he's in a bad mood. All right. That was that. I mean, the meanings of these words are fairly straightforward. Like, these words are not very complicated, in my opinion. The meanings of them are fairly clear and fairly analogous with similar phrases in English. It's just that there's so many of them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Really, 12? Yeah, 12. There are 12 possible answers here, so it's a little bit challenging sometimes to figure out what they wanted you to put in there, but okay. All right, so exercise 3, drag the correct words in to complete the sentences. All right, this may be easier because we don't have to type anything, theoretically. Let's see what happens. Something напишите мне, как только прилетите в Tokyo. So, write to me as soon as you land in Tokyo, as soon as your plane lands in Tokyo. Okay, so these words are all fairly similar. So this one is basically if possible. This one is no possibility. This one is possibility. This is impossible. Okay, so I guess, yeah, within possibility. If possible, write to me as soon as you land in Tokyo. По возможности. Okay, у нас есть something пригласить вас на конференцию, которая состоится в будущем месяце. So, we have an invitation for you to a conference which will occur in the future month. It's interesting. They don't say через месяц, like in a month. They say in future month. Okay. All right. In a future month is fine as well, I guess. У нас есть. Okay, so у нас we have, and then in the blank here must be a noun, right? So, okay, so возможность is a noun. It's possibility. We have the possibility to invite you to the conference. All right, there we go. К сожалению, у нашей компании something сделать вам рабочую визу. Unfortunately, our company doesn't have something make you a working visa or a work visa. So I think, again, it's I see here it's now right, okay, get it. So now here it's нет возможности. Okay. Our company has no possibility. So possibility is возможность. No possibility is нет возможности. Our company has no possibility to make you a work visa. Они сказали, что увольняют меня, но это же просто something. So they said that I'm fired, but that's just not possible, I guess. Невозможно. Да. Это же просто невозможно, but that's simply impossible. Между нашими партнерами всегда something обмен мнениями. Это важно для нас. So, between our partners, it's always возможен, I think. It's always possible, basically, to exchange opinions. It's important for us. So between partners, it's always possible to exchange opinions. This is important for us. Okay. Мама, не могу говорить по телефону, потому что это дорого, но я something буду тебе чаще писать. Mama, I cannot talk on the telephone because it is expensive, but I will write to you. Okay. So, но я по возможности. But I will, within possibility, write to you. So I'll write to you as soon as possible. Okay. Как только появится такая something, я сразу поеду на море. So, as soon as the again, возможно. So as soon as the possibility arises, I will immediately drive to the sea, to the ocean. В мегаполисе something для хорошего отдыха на природе. So in the megalopolis, in the huge city, нет возможности. There are no possibilities for good relaxation in nature, in the природе, in the nature. So in a huge metropolis, there are no possibilities for good relaxation in nature. It's not necessarily true. A lot of the biggest cities have huge parks where you can exercise and jog in the park and relax and be among the nature. But okay. Всегда есть something найти новую работу даже в кризис. It's always there is okay, возможность. There always is possibility to find new work, even in a crisis. Would that it were so. And finally, yes, that's correct. Думаю, что осуществить такой проект только нашими силами невозможно. I laugh because this sounds a bit like salami, but of course this is not salami, it's not a food. I think что осуществить to execute such a project, only with our strength, только нашими силами, only through our strengths, or only through our forces, I guess, невозможно, impossible. So I think it's not possible for us to execute such a project just on our own manpower. Okay, and finally, rephrase the sentences using the instructions we learned in this lesson. For example, надо было меньше пить, meaning it would be necessary to drink less, is the same as не надо было много пить. It's not necessary to drink more. I think logically, those are actually not equivalent. I think there is a difference between those two, but this is a lesson in linguistics and not logic, so maybe that's actually, maybe it actually works that way in Russian. Anyway, не нужно говорить об этом начальнику. It's not necessary to talk about this with the boss. Is simply нужно молчать об этом. You need to remain silent about it. Есть возможность дешево купить билет на футбол. There is the possibility to cheaply buy a ticket to football. That means можно. Можно купить дешевый билет. It's possible you can buy a cheap ticket. Здесь не запрещено курить. So here, it's not allowed to smoke. That means... it's not prohibited. Sorry, запрещение is prohibited. So here it's not prohibited to smoke, which means здесь можно курить. Here you can smoke or may smoke. Нужно было приходить вовремя. It's necessary to arrive on time. That means... I'm of the opinion, once again, that these are not quite equivalent, but the answer we're looking for is не нужно было опоздавать. It's not necessary to be late. I think that you need to be on time is not the same as saying it's not necessary to be late. It's not necessary to be late basically implies unless it means not that it's not necessary to be late, but that it's necessary to not be late. Probably what this means is it's necessary to not be late. The phrasing, if you translate the phrasing directly in English, it says you don't need to be late, meaning being late is optional. But I think the meaning here is you need to not be late. It's necessary to not be late, so you do need to arrive on time. Okay, in that sense, then yeah, they're synonyms. Okay. Не надо было работать ночью. So it's not necessary, or it was not necessary to work at night. Is the same as... it's also not quite the same thing. So the so-called equivalent phrase that it uses for that is it was necessary to work during the day. But that's not really true. If you say it's not necessary to work at night, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's necessary to work during the day. But, okay. That was lesson 86. So let's go ahead and take a look through. So this was this very awkward and uncomfortable first dialogue here about the unfortunate subordinate who found an error in the tax documents that had already been submitted to the authorities. Here are the correct answers for exercise 2. Correct answers to exercise 3, and correct answers to exercise 4. Okay, that was lesson 86. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you all next time in lesson 87. Bye-bye for now.